Hello and welcome to the SorareAndrews podcast, brought to you by RotoWire and sponsored by Sorare. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined as always by Andy Black, who you can find on Sorare as Black. And today, another special guest, Maxime Hagenbourger from SorareData. HG, you have been on a lot of things lately, at least today. Want to tell us why?
Yeah, so I announced today that SorareData has raised $700,000 from top VC funds and Sorare also. And yeah, I'm very excited about this. And of course, it's a great change in my life and in the life of the company. But yeah, hopefully we'll help SorareData grow and build a great platform for all Sorare managers.
Firstly, congratulations on all of that. That's a very big move. I think the general thought in the community was that there may have been like 100 people who worked for SorareData. I think there was clearly a thought that there was a huge team, or at least a team of people who did it. And reading your Medium post this morning, obviously it has just been you in your spare time, basically.
Yeah.
And it's obviously very impressive because there are comments all over the internet today about how much people enjoy the site and really just can't believe that one person has done all of this work. So I assume the plan now is for you not to do all the work. But what do you think the kind of the short-term changes would be to SorareData thanks to this new funding?
So yeah, you talked about the Medium post I've released today, and I invite everyone to read it because it says important things like thank you to the community, and I can't thank the community enough, and anyone that donated to SorareData until now, and anyone that provided rewards for, I know Black has provided great rewards for the first SD Cup, and yeah, I'm forever grateful for anyone that participated to the growth of SorareData. So I guess coming soon is a mobile app, which will start a bit slow with maybe only focused on the live experience and some of the market experience. Don't expect like the duplicate SorareData on your mobile, but I guess one of the ideas behind a mobile application is to improve the live experience, like getting notified when things happen in your SO5 tournaments and with your cards. But yeah, that's one of the cool things that is going to happen next. And I guess more decision-making tools on SO5 tournaments is also something that I'm exploring right now. More thing that helps you browse the market and make the right decision on the market, like trying to find the best offer for a player or trying to find the right players for your gallery. Anything that helps basically a Sorare manager is something I want to introduce in the website. Also, putting more content creation and the ability to bring more people and the ability to help people when they get on the website and not get lost completely. And yeah, translating the website is obviously only in English today, and it's something that will probably change in the upcoming weeks, hopefully.
Does that include getting rid of ETH?
No, I mean we're getting close to my prediction of getting rid of ETH on Sorare before the end of the year. I guess I'm going to be wrong on this one, but yeah, fiat price is something I've introduced a bit earlier this month. Is going to take more place as we go along, but I guess not a lot of people use the fiat prices for now. I guess people are more like interested in the fiat amount that they spent on the game, converted to ETH, and then having like the information of how much your gallery is worth in fiat right now. But I guess once you go inside the game and you have ETH to deal with, you're only looking at ETH. But yeah, it's always a safety net for your mind when you're trying to buy a player. Sometimes you're saying, oh, it's only 0.3 ETH, and then you remember what 0.3 ETH is actually in fiat, and you're like, maybe it's a bit expensive for a digital card.
So I think one of the biggest benefits of SorareData is that it's created by somebody who plays Sorare. And I think there are a lot of kind of companion tools, not necessarily to Sorare, but other fantasy games that are by people who think they know how people play, but they don't necessarily play. I think we've talked about this on a previous podcast, but if you wouldn't mind going into it, like, at what point did you decide to actually start SorareData, and how has it kind of changed since you started?
Sure. So started playing Sorare in 2019. I've got some first edition of GPL players from 2019, and Samata, who is going back to GPL, and I cannot be more happy about that. But so started playing at that point, and the first thing I've done with Sorare is trying to build a spreadsheet with the players I wanted to buy, and it was so not exciting to do. It's great to discover about some players, but you didn't know their scores, you didn't know anything about them. It was just messy to buy players on Sorare. So I started to build a database for me, and when the database was done, let's say, which is never, but let's say was accomplished, I tried to build a website to make it more accessible for me and more readable. And then I saw that the demand was there for a website like this, and released the website back in June 2020.
My first memory HG of SorareData was during replay weeks. Sorare would like release the week, like the game week that they were going to like replay, and you would have the results up basically way before they would on what that game week was, because I guess you had all the data and you could compute it and spit out the lineups and who came in what place. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was crazy, because also I was giving info about the probability of their lineups of getting a reward, because I knew all the scores and I could compute all the scores from previous weeks. And you could have like 50% chance of getting a reward on a specific game week, for example, or no, not on the specific game week, but overall on the replay period.
Right.
And yeah, the idea behind SorareData is always finding the features that you can't have on Sorare, or that Sorare doesn't want to do or doesn't do yet, and make it accessible for the managers, because there's a need for the future right now. So I guess that was my way in. I was trying to be the first to tell you if you are going to get a reward, or what is going to be your ranking during the replays, which was a crazy period, both on the COVID side and on the Sorare side. That was a crazy moment. But definitely something that kickstarted the project also.
Do you think the first, so it sounded like the first goal was to help you decide how much to pay for cards? And at what point did you add in the ability to think or to search, like, which card should I be buying? Like, I think there was the research of how much should I pay for this card, but you obviously need to figure out what cards you want to buy first. So like, when did that kind of get added?
I guess more recently, when I introduced like the player search and the player finder also, it was pretty difficult at that time to actually build a tool that was kind of complete, and because I didn't have the time to build it. But I guess first, what was pretty easy to do, even if you have some things that you can actually change, or actually it's not that simple. It's on average prices. basically you can say, over the last 7 days, for example. At the beginning, I was only doing monthly averages because cards were not sold at all for quite some time. And monthly averages was the first thing to show to the users, but also a scoring like telling the people like the average score over 5 games and over 20 games. That was the number of games I've chosen at that time. And it was kind of ugly, kind of messy, but I guess that was providing the information that people wanted. And when you have those features already developed, you can always go further with other features that are building on what you have already accomplished. So at the beginning, you have to build the foundations, you have to build the right tools, also for me, the right database for the features that I want to do next. Like, for example, I was talking with the French guys about when you're on a podium or something at the end of a game week, like there's 2 games left or something, you're always checking which lineups can go above you at some point. And the idea I have, and it's going to happen sometime soon, is that below your SO5 results, it tells you, this player is a threat to your SO5 lineup, because if he scores that many points, you're in big trouble, or I guess you're out. And I guess this kind of feature is very interesting, but is also a bit difficult to build, because if you have like 10 players that are threats to your lineup, how do you decide which one is the biggest threat, and how do you show the information? And I guess that's why also I tried to do scores projections to try to give like an overview. Like, let's say we think this player is going to score like 60 on this game, so this player is going to be the biggest threat for your SO5 lineup. But I guess also a solution that can work is see how many times the player has overcome the number of points that he needs to actually go above you. And that's also a pretty good measure of if you are in trouble or not. But it also gives you the ability to like watch other games and watch games that you would have never watched, and maybe find players that you would buy the next day, and make your SOI experience a bit deeper, let's say.
I don't think you've truly played Sorare until you realize a player that you don't have is catching up to you, and you're just hoping for some sort of pre-match stomach issue or something like that, so that they don't actually play.
Like an error led to goal or something like that.
Ooh. Oh yeah, exactly. That's just what we all hope for. Do you think? So you mentioned a few times the live experience. Do you think that's going to be a bigger focus? Because like I don't check scores at all on Sorare. Like there's nothing helpful about seeing
their live experience is just not. They have not invested time in it.
Right. And,
yeah, sure.
And
but,
I think.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I thought what you've done just on the My Results, SO5 results page of here's where you can finish, I think is just such a drastic improvement. I mean, everything is an improvement from what we have on Sorare, but do you think like being able to track what you do live is going to be kind of a major priority for you?
I guess I will always want to provide a different experience than Sorare is providing to their players. And by different, I don't mean necessarily better, but at least better for some kind of users. I guess engaged players will want more data, more information about the players that they are playing, but also the players that they are facing. So I guess that's I want to provide a different experience. But if you are Sorare, you also want to provide an experience that is good for like most of your users. And right now you have a lot of players that are engaged in the game and pretty addicted to the game. But I don't think you will have, when Sorare gets to 1 million users, I don't think you will have that many engaged players or let's say addicted players. But definitely it's something that the life experience is something I want to improve, and also through a mobile app is something that is way more reactive and way more interesting to follow if you're not in front of your computer watching games. But
I've
yeah.
got a quick question for you on the mobile app. Are you looking to kind of like design that similar to how, say, FotMob or some of the other live apps operate, and like it'll notify you when your player gets a decisive action and they're in one of your lineups or something?
Definitely, yeah.
Or if
I
they
guess
have a red card or something?
I guess that I didn't see SorareData's mobile app doing that until like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. But I guess I would be a competitor of FoodMob or other scoring app, live scoring app that are on the market right now, because I want people, like right now what I'm doing is I'm going on FotMob, browsing through the games that I'm interested, turning on the notifications, and that's it. And I get the notifications. Yeah, Van Eyck has scored, even though they are down 6-1, and it's destroying my lineups. But I want something that is dedicated to Sorare, and like saying, "Oh, Van Eyck has scored." That means that you're, I don't know, second in Division 3 or something, and you're very happy to get the notification. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the same thing that FotMob or other scoring apps do.
So one of the questions it seems that a lot of people have asked, and I'll admit that you've replied to a few of them either in the Discord or on Twitter, but the possibility of like a subscription to SorareData, is that, what's the idea on that, and sort of the timeline of when you think that might be possible?
Yeah. Sure, that's the question that everyone is asking, and I don't think like it's just because I've raised money. It's for a long time people have asked, how do you earn money, or what's your model? And until now, donations were enough to actually run the website. But as traffic like grows, I need more money, and also I need people to actually build a better platform anyway. So yeah, at some point, very late 2021 or early 2022, I will probably introduce a subscription model, but not a very expensive one. I don't want to commit on prices right now, but I guess it for people that buy Sorare cards, that will be not a very high amount, at least for the ones who are buying rare cards right now. But even for limited card owners, I want something that is pretty affordable. But the main idea behind that is I want SorareData to be accessible and to the information to be still available raw. I mean, I guess I have no problem showing data since it's on Sorare and also on on the blockchain for most of it. But I want to save people time by aggregating the right data and showing the right metrics. Like if you want to compute your roster average price or something, you could do that. I have no problem showing the information to you, like card by card. I don't think I will stop showing that information. But if you want to check like the total and you don't want to spend minutes or dozens of minutes trying to browse the website for the information, I guess the simple way is to pay a small amount every month.
I think that's pretty key. I think people tend to underestimate the value of their time, and if you can get something on your computer screen or your phone in seconds that would normally take you minutes or dozens of minutes, I think people need to appreciate that that's worth the time.
What types of features would you have in front of the paywall, and what types of features would you have behind the paywall?
I guess typically the lineup builder would be restricted to like 1 or 2 lineups per week or something for free users. I'm not sure about that, but typically what I want to do is some kind of like letting people with small galleries benefit from, I don't know, one lineup builder at some point, and like one division each week, for example, and even on notifications, like having the ability to get like 5 or 10 notifications. Right now, email notifications are a bit costly, and I have to check how notifications on mobile are in terms of pricing. But I guess if that's a bit pricey, limiting also the number of notifications per user, depending on your subscription or not. And yeah, I guess everything that is aggregated, like a stat that is cool, is that I've introduced like earlier this week or last week, is like the your reward winning lineup percentage, and that tells you like if you are actually good at the game. Well, I don't know if good at the game is the right way to say it, but at least if your lineups succeed at the game. And I guess this kind of information will definitely put them behind a paywall, because it's a lot of computing to do, and it's an interesting metric, but it's not also something that is completely necessary, but that's something that is nice to have and fun to have. And if I play Sorare, I want to have this information because I want to know if I'm good at the game or not. But typically, I don't think like the market data, I'm not decided on that, but I guess a lot of the data will stay there, but I guess the aggregated data will be behind the paywall.
Do you think there's going to be a point where you try to do non-Sorare aggregation like that?
Yeah, so that's something I also talk about in the Medium post, and also the press release, is that the idea is to duplicate like what I've done on Sorare with also other play-to-earn games, because that's, I guess that's one of my beliefs, but I guess the market is validating that thesis, that a lot of NFT games implementing the play-to-earn model will appear in the coming, let's say, month or years. And if you're investing money and expecting to get some of it back, you will need to have the right resources to actually play the game. And I guess I'm in a good position technically, but also with my player experience on Sorare, to actually build other platforms for other games that won't be called Sorare. And but definitely one of my priority right now is Sorare, and definitely also sticking with Sorare over the long term. If they go towards another sport at some point, definitely following them. It's why I'm here today. So no way I'm getting out of Sorare anytime soon.
So I got a kind of a follow-up question to that, for like aggregating data for other types of projects or blockchain projects. How would you differentiate yourself from some of the stuff that's already out there now? Like, I know there's Crypto Slam, and I know NBA Top Shot has one. I don't know the name of it, but I know that they have like a market app basically that kind of shows some of that data.
Sure. So I guess what you're referring about is called Evaluate Market, and they do that for Top Shot and also some other NFTs. I guess what I want to do is not build a platform like that is doing a lot of things, but doing them the same way. I want to build platforms that match the experience of a player wherever they play, and the Sorare experience is not at all the same than the NBA Top Shot experience. And I guess in some kind of way, it's interesting for a platform to try to fit everything under one model and just replicate the model for every NFT games or NFT project that they find. But I guess that's not my way of seeing things. And I guess when you're going deeper into Sorare or deeper into Top Shot or another game or something, you need a platform that knows how the game is being played, and that has a player behind it. And I guess I won't even try to do something if I don't play it. And I guess one of the things that I'm going to find with my employees also is find players, or at least people that try to play the game at if they want to play the game with commons, they can play the game with commons or with limited, or I don't know, or rares. I could even allow a budget for people to play the game, because it's so important that everyone in the company and everyone building on the platform know what they're talking about and what they're building on. And I guess for CryptoSlam or something, they're like, they are doing like overall data for everything, and I guess that's very interesting if you want to browse the overall market and trying to compare everyone. But I guess if you try to browse Sorare, the Sorare menu on CryptoSlam, and you try to play Sorare at the same time, it's just not enough, and it's so complicated to actually build something that is right for every platform. So yeah, definitely trying to replicate what I've tried to do with Sorare and doing it for other NFT games.
Yeah, I think the key really is you have that deeper, rich experience built into your platform, and you really don't see that in the others. It's more of a high level overall market sentiment, whereas yours is much richer.
Yeah, I'd say it's a companion app because it covers not only the market side but also the live experience and the decision making, etc., even side games. So yeah, CryptoSlam is only data analytics, and it's already so much to do. So yeah,
I think based on the amount of time that people spend on the respective sites, I think you could argue that Sorare is a companion app to SorareData.
No, I cannot say that anymore because
I said it. That's okay. You don't have to say
it's no. But I guess at some point in time when Sorare also finds its rhythm on, because you have to like remember that they migrated twice in like 1 year or so, and technically it took a lot of time, and also people cannot work a 12 hours day for a long period of time. So and they're doing a lot in terms of support, and also doing a lot behind the scenes that no one can see. And I think they have done a pretty good job at providing a pretty stable platform. And that's also a market that is live 24/7. And sometimes people forget that we are building on very mature technologies. And I'm really like admiring the work that they have done. And as they continue on recruiting people and recruiting more engineers, we will see more stuff being added to the platform. And I guess my priority at that time is trying to provide what Sorare doesn't want to provide, and what Sorare, I don't know, don't provide at the right time, or at least I think not at the right time. But yeah, one thing that they probably won't do is market data, etc. So I have a lot of work to do on that part.
So the SorareData Twitter account has a pinned tweet that you're looking for a full stack developer?
Yes.
Or
two.
So Sorare, two of them.
Yeah, I say one, but actually two, yeah.
Okay, that sounds like lots of building about to happen. Do you want to give a pitch to whoever could be listening that might be a full stack developer and maybe work for you?
Yeah, so first of all, you don't need to be in Paris. You need to be somewhere on Earth with a reliable internet connection. So if you're qualified, you can listen to this. But yeah, I guess if you're passionate about Sorare, and I guess if you're listening to this podcast, you're already passionate about Sorare. But if you're convinced, as I am, that Sorare is going to be a great game, and that a companion app like SorareData brings a lot of value to the users, and you want to open it's like an entrepreneur experience without being like a real entrepreneur because I have like raised already this money, and it's not a co-founder position, but there will be a lot of responsibilities given day one. And of course, you will be given some equity of the company because I want to incentivize any employee with like owning a part of the business. And I guess you will never be bored at this job because there's something coming up like every week, even every day. And I guess that's we are at the corner of one of the biggest revolution in the gaming industry, like for like many years. And NFTs, at least on the gaming side, are going to change a lot of things. And I would be very happy to have a lot of people joining me in this adventure and grow the company and go see what other games do, and why not build on them.
So you mentioned the gaming part of it. Do you think there'll be any changes to the SorareData gaming area that we all participate in? Like, do you think the development of SorareData changes those at all?
So about side games, it's something I told also the French guys, because I know everyone that play the SorareData games love the experience, or at least is an okay experience. But I guess my priority would be on the live experience, but also on the market experience and the decision making. I guess the side games are something that are, let's say, fun to develop, but at the end of the day, it's not something that is paying bills, to be completely honest. And I want to deliver the best value for the users. And I guess side games, as they stand today, and they will be improved in some ways during the end of the during the quarter, but I guess the priority will stay on the other parts of the website. And as long as the regulation is also very shady and definitely not allowing paid games around NFTs, that's something I'm not interested in trying to do, because I don't want to go to jail. I think I've already said that before in your podcast, so I'm just saying that again. And yeah, if the regulation changes or if there are opportunities, I guess I will be exploring that. And but I'm also welcoming. I've seen Sora Mega doing more stuff around side games recently, and I'm welcoming also other side games, because I'm pretty confident in the fact that if you're trying to do other side games, you need SorareData to actually build your teams. And I would be very happy to actually integrate like other side games results inside SorareData, so you can have like all the results that you are in the tournaments that you're competing in at the same place. So I guess at the end of the day, more side games are good for me. I don't want to be the platform where everyone plays and don't play anywhere else. But I will be also announcing a different prize pool in the upcoming weeks, because the dynamic has changed in the side games around Sorare. One shot leagues are stopped, and SorareData side games are the ones that are widely used in the community. So I'll be getting a slightly better prize pool, hopefully in the upcoming weeks.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that the money that you raise is not going to be used to get you out of jail after you start a gambling operation. So good to hear that. Do you look at Sorare more as a fantasy football game as opposed to like an NFT collection shop?
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's why we don't see like the NFT wave that much affecting Sorare, because Sorare is so different from other NFT games. Like, it's so much more focused on the customer side and on like people that don't know anything about crypto. Of course, you still need to buy ETH, or you still need to bid with your credit card, and you see like ETH amounts, and it's a bit confusing for a new player. But I guess we're not talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club or CryptoPunks. We're talking about football cards that are valuable to many people and that are being used every single day for trading, or but also for collections, but also for gaming. And I guess that's something I didn't find yet in another product or in another project. We will see metaverse, but also NFT projects doing that in the future. But right now, I guess Sora has a great position, and I disagree with most of the comments that have been made during the week by Zero, especially, and we've talked about. I've talked with him about it, but um, he said basically that the competition was hard and brutal against Sora, and I kind of disagree with him when he says that, because to me, CryptoPunks or Bored Ape Yacht Club or anything that is NFT right now is not really a competition to Sora. No one is trying to build a fantasy football game based on NFTs like Sora is doing, and at the end of the day, that's what matters to me. And I guess, yeah, we can say that on some part of the product, it's not that advanced or it's not that fluid that we would expect, but I don't see the competition there. And I guess that's also what I've said to him at that point. Is it's also like I've seen many players, and me included, saying at some point in time, "Hey guys, I'm done with this game. It's so bad. I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm selling my gallery. Okay, yeah, buy my gallery. I'm selling at a low price. Okay." And next day I'm here auctioning and bidding on players, and that's also kind of a bad signal to send to Sorare, because they're here like, yeah, you said yesterday you were leaving, you're here today. We all kind of are addicted to the game, and that could be easily let's say Sora could easily say, okay, people are addicted, we don't need to go that fast on new features or something. But I guess at some point they will go very fast and deliver what the community wants. And you have to remember that they are.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, tell me.
Do you think that they get faster and more efficient as they grow, or do you think maybe a little bit of the opposite?
No, I guess they are in this kind of phase, which is very difficult, because I think they are dealing with also a lot of migrations and a lot of changes in their infrastructure and in the recent month. And so they're trying to figure out how it works and fix what's wrong, etc. And I guess once they have a stable infrastructure and a stable code base, they will be able to go very fast on other things. That's why we didn't see any evolution on maybe the gaming side of things and maybe on the product side of things, because they were busy migrating cards to the layer 2 solution, but also delivering limited cards, etc. So, the
way I saw that the migration was every day that they didn't have that done, they were losing money. So that was the most important thing that they, as a team, accomplished. And I know that people might be a little sour that they didn't focus more on either gameplay or other things, but flat out, every day that wasn't done, they lost money.
Yeah, and you see, like, something that I hear recently is like rewards are delivered like 24 hours after they are actually sent.
Yeah.
Well, shown on your Sorare page, but I think like what's missing here. I'm not really frustrated about not being able to list my reward the next day or like the next hour, but I guess one thing that is missing is actually explaining why it's happening. And I guess I didn't see some kind of explanation from Sorare telling people, hey, we know it's slow on the rewards and it's happening because of some reason. and I wouldn't blame them for there must be a reason that is a very valid reason why rewards are being delivered 1 week, one week, not 1 day after they're actually shown. But I guess people need explanations, and when we don't understand something, we're being very frustrated fast, and I guess they just need to figure out things and explain when something is not happening correctly, and I guess then people will understand and being not that frustrated anymore.
Well, people tend to come up with their own reasons when they don't know. So I think that just the transparency always helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Piggybacking on the previous question about NFT collection versus the fantasy game, I feel like we keep talking about, everybody's anticipating this next, I believe Dan called it a spike, not a boom, but we've been using the word boom, but like the next one. Do you think it's possible that the next one is actually from, I mean, pretty much the first one was from like NFT collectors as opposed to people who want to play a global fantasy football game? Like I'm struggling to see an avalanche of people joining Sorare because they want to play fantasy football instead of just owning these cards. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
I guess the main user base will come from people wanting to play a fantasy football game, and then that's why and that's also like what I've said just before is like I don't see many people from the NFT space like talking about Sorare, because it's not like your typical NFT product. Like you have like
a rock,
your stuff on OpenSea, and you're trying to sell it like 10 times the amount that you paid before. But you have a real utility with your Sorare card, and I guess that's 10 times better than any NFT project that is on the market right now. And I guess the marketing will be directed towards not NFT collectors, but football fans. And as we've seen the Sorare commercials, like on La Liga stadiums, I guess that's what they are targeting. They're not targeting people that are buying NFTs right now. They're targeting people that will be here for the long run because they love football and not NFTs.
And you think that's the right way to go?
I definitely think it's I would be very mad if they were targeting NFT owners right now. And I guess people are frustrated because it's like, the SpongeBob meme when you have like, I don't know how the character is called, but he's looking at the window when everyone is having fun. And I can see why people are feeling like this, because you can see like 10 times return on NFTs, some of the projects. But you also have to keep in mind that it's not an healthy market right now. It's people are just printing money on some JPEGs. But I say that, and I love NFTs, and I believe that NFTs will be a part of our future somehow. But I guess we lose some kind of logical.
So what
reasoning.
you're saying is when the Board Messi Yacht Club card is revealed, you're not buying.
No, I'm selling.
That's when you sell your gallery right there. You see that card?
I mean, signages with other projects, are fine as long as they have some kind of meaning. But I guess I'm not too worried about the future of Sorare, because it's totally not linked to the NFT space. Like they have shown in the past that they are not interested in doing like other crypto projects are doing, and I guess that's why they're so successful on a VC kind of way. And I guess I'm not worried at all. Maybe I'm wrong. You have to remember that I've raised money over on SorareData, and that's basically betting on the success of Sorare also. So I might be completely biased on this, but I guess you have also to see the other way around and say like, yeah, maybe we're targeting football fans instead of NFT holders right now.
But you've also previously said that you would never play it if they weren't NFTs. Is that still correct?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I guess why would it even be called Sorare if you have not approved that cards are rare and that you can actually own them? So I guess NFTs make the game possible and make the game actually the one I want to play.
That's fair. Do you want to take a second to speculate on what Sorare does next?
I guess the priority for them is adding more leagues and adding more clubs. I guess when I've seen stuff on Twitter today, I won't spoil it, but I guess when you're trying to promote your brand in stadiums that don't have any licensed Sorare players, it's probably that you're going to do something with them soon. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I guess I guess that would be a right way to promoting Sorare. But I guess what I'm missing with those commercials also is also showing your brand is okay, but I kind of want to see a message with it, like what is Sorare doing, and so I'm expecting more marketing on football stadiums. Why not a sponsorship? I guess some people have done that before, and if you're sponsoring like a team in, I don't know, Ligue 1 or something, it probably isn't that expensive, and that means that everyone that is playing against this team is actually seeing the Sorare logo at some point in time. So I guess that would make sense. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that they are going to do the right moves next. But I guess the priority is more clubs, more licensing deals, and because if you're a British player right now, I guess you're a bit frustrating at seeing, like, it's the exact same SpongeBob meme, like seeing Italian players with many teams and French players with many teams. I don't even talk about MLS teams, but yeah, you kind of want to see other Premier League clubs being added to the platforms.
Andy, you want to speculate on the future of Sorare?
Who, me? No.
Yeah.
I can't even. I saw I think the same thing that HG is referring to with some stuff regarding La Liga. So not to be the one spoiling, but maybe that's next. I don't know. I do think that the priority should be more leagues, and then some marketing around either a jersey sponsor somewhere or just more visibility. But then again, I do think that the onboarding needs to be better. I think there needs to be a more clear way to onboard. I don't know that commons are the answer. And if they are, then there needs to be just a better integration with them. So I still think that the onboarding, is much time that they've thrown at onboarding, I think that onboarding still needs some more love.
So just trying to get rid of those commons, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny because my dad has been interested. He has invested with my mom in SorareData in this round, and he's fascinated with new technologies. And I got him into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and he's very interested into that. And so he tried Sorare, and I guess that's when you see all the things that are missing on Sorare right now. He basically can't play the game first without SorareData, and you have first to find SorareData at some point in your journey. But also the auctioning system is a bit complicated to explain, because that means that you have to be 24/7 on the market basically, or you have to have to buy at some price that it's completely crazy, because people are just saying, hey, I've got the card, you have to pay that price. And I guess that's a bit frustrating for new users also, not having the possibility to buy any card at any time. that is not completely crazy high price. And I guess the problem is the game is also a bit complicated. I don't think it's complicated, but it takes some time to understand the game and to actually get on board.
I think Zara in chat just brought up a really, really good point, really good question. Don't you think the game needs to be a little more casual, actually? And I do think that there needs to be an option for somebody that just wants to come in and, buy a team and play and not have to like watch the auctions 24/7 to get the 5 players that they want. Like, it'd be nice if there was just a way to like, okay, I want to buy my team. And I guess that's kind of what the secondary market is, but the issue there, I guess, is you're not always finding the right prices or but then again, maybe that's what you pay for being lazy or more casual.
Yeah, the right balance is difficult to find because that would you could also like have Sorare sell cards at a limit at like a fixed price or something, but why would you do that? And why would you disturb the free market? Also limiting like returns on cards, for example, like say you bought this card at 0.07 or for example, and you cannot sell it for more than 0.09, for example, but that would be disturbing the free market, and that would be a really bad sign, I would say. But yeah, it's difficult. I guess I don't have any solution right now for them, and it has to be difficult to find the right solution for new users to come in and actually find the right players that they want to buy. My father came in. We went to the FC Nantes game the day before, and Moses Simon scored 92 on Sorare, and he said, "I want to buy Moses Simon," and he went on the secondary market and said, "Oh no, I'm not spending 500 euros on the rare card of Moses Simon," and that's a legit feedback. And yellow cards were not there at that time, and even trying to browse the market, it's a bit difficult.
Would he buy a Moses Simon limited card now?
Yeah, I guess definitely, but he has to be there at the right time and find that the auction is actually there when he connects to the game. And that's also why a mobile application on Sorare, but also on SorareData would be interesting. Is like trying to tell everyone like, you're following this player, he's in auction in like 10 minutes. Be careful, you might miss it. It's definitely something that would help users and managers.
He just needed to go on the auctions right after they announced the new season cards, because there were 50 of each player right away. That's all.
Yeah, but the time that you actually read the email, the time that you actually get on the platform, I mean, people have limited time. I guess we are crazy people by spending a lot of time on Sorare, and not that many people can do and can spend that much time on the platform. So yeah, I mean, we look forward to 1 out of 10,000 cards.
But I think that's the biggest selling point for SorareData, is just it cuts down the amount of time that it takes to play this game. And
yeah, at the end of the day, that's any feature that saves you time is a feature I want to implement at some point.
Right. No, but I think this lack of being able to play extremely casually is an issue. And I don't know if they necessarily need to address it right now, but at some point they have to, because some people just like to have their 5 cards, set the lineup and walk away. And it's really tough to do that now, at least without buying terrible cards. The first 5 that you find in the auction and you go play, you're like, not only are you not going to win, but you're also, there's no, enjoyment out of the sweat because you're dead. Your lineup's dead. There are 5 cards you've never heard of.
Yeah, or you bought some Japanese player and you don't get J League on your TV at home.
Mm-hmm. I think there's some of that, though.
For sure.
I pay for Russian football on YouTube now.
I do too.
And I guess no, but it's crazy. But I think that most of the subscribers on their channel is because of Sorare players.
Yeah.
And I guess that's something I guess Nicola does that, but that's a good message to send to leagues. Like, look at that. People are actually buying the right to see your games because they own Sorare players. And I don't own that much K-League players, but definitely on the MLS side, I would definitely buy a TV package for MLS in Europe. That I'm amazed that there's actually no legal options in France to actually watch MLS games. And I'm used to NFL, NBA, and NHL, etc., or MLB, and having the possibility to go on their website and just click like I want to pay, I want to see the game. And MLS is just like no, we don't want you to pay for a game. Just go find a stream that is online and that is illegal and watch the games.
I know
don't do that. It's not legal to watch games, not on a right source.
I remember like a few months ago when Paramount Plus started getting all these. There's a CBS one here, and they're like, "Oh, they have Argentina and Brazil," and I'm like, "Who's going to watch this stuff?" And here I am, Friday night watching River Plate, hoping for some decisives. So,
yeah, but you're always playing River Plate stacks, so. Definitely, I definitely would pay for Argentinian football if I owned an Argentinian stack. But that's why what I'm trying to do with Limited is trying to buy players that I can't really afford or I don't really want to pay for in rare cards, and just buying them in yellow. And I'm happy to support them during the game week. Like I've bought like Ito from Genk. And I'm really happy with his performance today against Oman, and he scored 38. And Captain Ito scored a great amount of points on my lineup.
Bad loss for Japan today. That's all.
What was the line on that? Was Japan was supposed to win probably by a couple goals, right?
By lots.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, as somebody who has nobody on that Japanese national team, I was perfectly content with that outcome.
Yeah, but the only game for Japan that was taken into account was the 10-0 against, I don't know, Tajikistan or something. That was crazy. People were like, why would we allow those people to play, to scouts to play in SO5 tournaments? And today they might be, okay, I'm okay with Japan Japan playing in SO5.
Yep.
I guess you can't win 10-0 every game.
I had the pitchforks out for that 10-0 because I have.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, but I guess that makes sense. If you're covering Europe, why wouldn't you like? France was playing Bosnia Herzegovina yesterday, and they did not well because our national team is not doing very well now. But maybe after the World Cup win, we would have won like 4-0 or something. And why would you count this game and not Japan against Oman? I guess that doesn't make any sense. While you're counting like K-League games and European leagues games.
I think I was actually more salty about this Japan thing because I had my Canada stack all lined up for their match against Aruba, and then it got pulled.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Then they didn't count that game.
Yeah. That's not good. But I remember that Ito also scored bad during the 10-0 victory, and I'm like, okay, maybe not playing Ito during a Japan game would be a good idea.
If only there was a tool you could have used to help you build that.
Yeah, but that's something that is not really, and that's something that is going to appear at some point because players are playing for different teams, but also different competitions. And that's something I already have in database, but I'm not showing correctly right now. Well, at least not showing at all. Is trying to say, okay, this player scores with this team on average this amount of points, and in this competition also. And also trying to change the opponent's score to maybe 15 games, but also trying to say, yeah, it's the opponent's score, but only for this competition. And that makes a lot more sense. Because, Neymar is scoring great with Brazil, but sometimes he's not scoring great at all with PSG. And so these are things that are going to happen at some point that are not that difficult to implement, but going to show sometime soon.
That's a nice little tease.
There's always more. Anyway, when you're trying to do something like I've done new filters for auctions, I was like, I wonder why it was not there before. But now people are, I'm asking for, multiple scarcities, like having the possibility to pick rare and super rare and uniques, for example, and not limited cards. And also what I'm trying to do is setting like default filters depending on your account, and saying, okay, when you go on SorareData, you want to see on the auction house only limited cards from Nantes, for example, and you save that as a default, and when you land up on your home page, you only see that. And I guess what I'm trying to do is bringing more and more customization to SorareData, and having everyone picking which tools they want, and trying to have like a more custom experience depending on your needs.
So kind of like, speaking of kind of features, what's the one feature that like you feel like you want to build for SorareData that doesn't exist now, that you want to build?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you mine.
No, the one that really interests me, and I know it's very difficult, and I know it could be a lot of troubles, is like automation of building lineups, and also and that goes also along with projections of scores. But I guess we won't have the right results to do that. I guess we will have some kind of results that might be the right ones, but also we will be wrong on so many others. And since Sorare has a scoring matrix where a red card like gets you a negative decisive action, and it's something that is not very common, and you cannot really project a red card to happen. Right. And like it completely destroys a projection when you're in. Maybe it will be more like an all-around projection. Like it's more accessible to project, let's say, because it doesn't depend on score, on goals, assists, etc. And like, okay, this guy scores a lot of DAs or not, and trying to like get a sense of if the player is actually projected or not to score at some point a DA in the game. But yeah, that's really something that interests me, but I know that is also very difficult, and I don't want also people like to say, SorareData has projected Yaramchuk to score like, I don't know, 67, and he scored like 38. These guys are morons. Why do I even listen to them, etc.? Like the RotoWire lineup projections on the MLS. But at the end of the day, it's I think it's going to happen in some kind of way, but maybe not the one that I would have wanted.
So here's my 2 feature requests. I think, speaking of lineup projections, I think you could use the lineup builder and then show a percentage of number of other managers that are starting that player in a lineup. So I think that would give maybe some kind of like that would give you 2 things. Like if everyone is starting this player, then he's probably playing this game week and he's not hurt or he's not suspended or whatever. So it gives you a little bit of an idea that, okay, it's safe to play this player because everybody else is. Obviously still do your own research. There may be something else there. But then also too, if you want like a differential in a lineup where you're thinking, okay, everybody's starting this player, I want to try to, go against the grain. I could play a different player, for instance. So I think that'd be like almost a way of crowdsourcing lineup projections. And then second, I want some kind of like correlation tool where I could like plug 2 or 3 players in and then kind of get an overlay of all their scores and see, okay, these players score well together or these players do not score well together, and kind of, kind of give you an idea of how they play together.
We talked about this before, and I absolutely love this feature, and it's going to happen like very soon. I can tell you that. And
Love
it's something I want to do. It's like I want to see the correlation between, like, I don't know, Marquinhos and I don't know, Verratti or something.
Yeah.
I want at the end be able to say, yeah, this lineup for this club is the best one. Basically saying, like, if you play this player, he will score great with this one. And I guess that's something I really want to do, and that makes a lot of sense. And that will also help people decide on whether stacks are something they want to do. I've kind of changed my mind on this and trying to do a stack every now and then, maybe in All-Star D4. But I guess sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I guess at the end of the day,
For sure.
you just have to pick the right matchup. And like, I didn't want to pick like Lopez against Nantes because I support Nantes, but he scored 80 points because I know we suck at scoring goals. And I guess Lyon stack would have been good at that point. But yeah, definitely doing that soon. Like, I don't want to commit on a date, but probably in the next week or two. And but I need to find the right way also to show the information and where to show it. It's very important. And what was that? It was the lineup projection. Yeah, based on the pick rate with the lineup builder. I guess that's an interesting feature, but it's the kind of features that uses data that is provided by the players to SorareData. And it's something I'm not decided on, because I think it kind of breaks the relationship that I have with users, because it says, okay, I know stuff and I can tell you guys what everyone is thinking. And I guess that's something I'm not very comfortable with yet. If I get a sense in the community that is that everyone is saying, no, that's cool, we want to do that, we want to see that. And I guess it's also kind of sensible to manipulation people just to say, hey, it's I'm starting this one.
Fire up your Lamkel Z's.
Yeah. But I guess I should be talking about to Sora about this one and see their opinion on that, if they ever thought about it. And I guess that would be an interesting conversation to have. But yeah, I'm not decided on that. Also, I could do this with notifications because you could say, hey, people on SorareData are putting notifications for this player at on average of, or the minimum amount or the minimum price is this one. And I could do like another book or some kind of other book on a player page. But I think it also kind of breaks the relationship I have with users, and I'm really not comfortable with doing that yet. But correlation, trying to find if you need to play the same players at the same time makes a lot of sense. But what your first idea also made me think of is just saying, on a regular basis over the last 5 game weeks, for example, people have been playing that card, that percentage of it, and I can do that pretty easily since I show the data on the Game Week Center every game week. And also saying something I talked about in the IB podcast was like, did the players captain this player? Like, where we checked, and Morioka has a crazy rate of a captain, and Kikuchi also has a crazy rate. And that also gives you a crowdsourced information that is not giving you an edge because everybody knows it, and it's not based on the data that is provided by users to SorareData.
Yeah, I think it's always really interesting to see where guys are played. Like the example that Andy was going through before, like if you're making your lineup and you see that everybody plays the Mbappe rare in Champ Euro D3, and so if you play it in D4, then maybe I just play it in D4 this week instead of U23 or U23 D3 or D4. Like there are ways to play him, but just play him where fewer people are playing him, and maybe that's enough of a differential. I also want to say that we had you come on today to talk about this, but it was all a smokescreen so Andy could put in those 2 requests.
Yeah, and that's something I want to say is please do feedback. Please send feedback to me, but don't do it on Discord. It's probably the last place where I want to receive feedback because I receive so many messages, and I'm not doing a great job at separating my personal Discord account and my professional one. But please send emails to contact@soraredata.com or maxime@soraredata.com. I get those anyways, so the contact and the Maxime ones. And I read everything. Sometimes I don't reply, and sorry if I don't reply. I don't have the time sometimes to reply to this. But I have interesting feedback coming in most of the time, and that influences me in my decisions, and also prioritizing which features I would be building next and how I would build it next. And I guess I don't the number of times when I think of a feature because someone tells me something that is not necessarily the feature but something related, like Black, you just said, it's countless. So, and it's really important to have that, so please continue to do that. And with the person I'm working on the product side, we will try to have like some kind of upvote feature that where you can like say, I want this feature to be implemented, but I want this one also, and try to find what's the feature that the community wants the most. So yeah, definitely trying to also to improve like the way people give feedbacks, and also give get like the features that they want.
Does it seem like a lot of the features that you build come from the community? At least the ideas start with them?
Yeah, I guess. I think I didn't say it already today on your podcast, but the community has helped me so much during this journey, and every member of the community that has posted a message on SorareData or sent me an email or DM on Twitter. Also, I don't really read tweet or DMs. I'm sorry about that, but just send me an email. Yeah, so many people just donating also. Even like 0.001 ETH, it's like, yeah, thanks. It's like more than most of the users of SorareData, and of course Zero, Pap, and many players that have donated. Victor Nettoyer also have donated a lot to SorareData, El Fenomeno, etc. I don't want to name everyone, but yeah, I guess the community has been so nice to me. And I guess I try to be nice to them and provide them with features. And that's also why I guess we talked a bit about this, but I guess on the subscription model also, I guess people will understand the value that SorareData is bringing to the platform. And I guess I have some people telling me that they would be happy to pay for SorareData. I hope there will be the day I introduce those changes. But yeah, I guess at some point in time we will have to move to this kind of model, but it will only be to improve the current product and to bring stability also to users. And I promise not to make you pay €100 or $100 for every month for those data. It will be affordable. $99.99, but not 100. No, but it will be pretty affordable. But I will be also looking at trying to have like payment through Sorare, if that's legal. If my accountant is not, yeah, he has to be crazy to accept that, I guess. But if I can make it, I want it to be the best way possible for people to actually get the service.
Cool. Well, we've taken up quite a bit of your time. You've done a lot of media today to announce this pretty big news. But Maxime, thank you for coming on and explaining all that to us. Again, congratulations on this pretty big step for SorareData and yourself. And hopefully we can have you on again, because everybody loves to hear what's going on at SorareData.
No, it's over. Like I'm done. It was my last appearance. Now I've raised money. I'm like, no. Speak to my agent, please. No. Of course, I'm
That was the first hire, an agent.
That would be cool. But no. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on your podcast, guys. And We talk a lot off stream, and your support and your feedback has always been amazing. And again, thanks to everyone that is listening, that is using SorareData, and I'm forever grateful for the community and the people that have supported me along the way.
All right. Well, this has been the SorareAndrews podcast, brought to you by RotoWire and sponsored by Sorare. If you guys have been watching this on YouTube, if you could please hit the like button below. Please feel free to subscribe for all of the RotoWire soccer videos. And if you're on the audio version, if you could please just rate and review it wherever you listen. Maxime, thank you. Andy, we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.